Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna be showing you what Warwick can do against certain... Yo, what's going on, guys? I want to show you one of my niche counter picks. I really like playing Warwick when the enemy jungler picks something like Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, or Rengar, a really scrappy melee champion. Warwick generally crushes those champs in 1v1s, beats him in scuttle fights, beats him on dragon fights, and typically in team fights gives more value since he has more AoE CC than they tend to with his AoE fear. This game, I decided to go for Divine Sunder over a Bork Rush or over a Titanic Rush because Divine Sunder is just really OP right now. There's just really no two ways about it. Once it does get nerfed, or if it does get nerfed enough, then you can just float back into Titanic Rush, Bork Rush, or potentially other items. Warwick has lots of mythics he can run with viable success. I've started to do this 5 camp clear on Warwick. I feel like it's a lot better. It's a lot more consistent. It's basically just starting blue side, doing blue Gromp Wolves into Raptors red buff. At that point, Scuttle will be spawned in and you can go fight for it. If you do get Scuttle, which you probably should, you will get level 4 off of it too. So it sets you up in a really nice spot where you'll have more gold than you normally have on Warwick on a 5 camp clear, since Warwick normally does 3 to 4 camp clears. So you can even get a team at if you want, if that's the setup, or just buy more of your item in general, or just get closer to your level 6. We see Lee Sin was on his Raptors. We know he started bot lane, so we know we're going to fight him over here. Sure enough, he is on Scuttle. We use our W to get movement speed and attack speed bonus against him. We activate our E. We have a perfect Q timing. We hold it down all the way, drag with him. We already have the movement speed bonus since he's below half health, so we flash with him, Q through, finish the kill. We're going to go ahead and grab some of his camps before we go for the Scuttle Crab and possibly push into other Scuttle. Even though I didn't necessarily have top prio, I had mid prio, so it just made sense to fight for that. If I had no prio mid and no prio top, I wouldn't have gone for it, since I would have gotten collapsed on by both laners and died. I don't know if Lee Sin's tilted or what. Instead of grabbing opposite side Scuttle, he immediately goes in for a mid gank. I Q through the minion, land my fear, and auto him down. Since he was below half health, I was getting the extra move speed bonus, which allowed me to end up landing my fear against him. If you can manage to get double scuttles on Warwick, you have basically a 70-80% chance of winning the game, hitting your level 6 really early, and by default that means the enemy jungler is falling behind, which Warwick plays very well off of. The enemy team picked 𝐒𝐿ista here. She was honestly kind of sus to me. If you watch closely this game, kind of when she uses her flashes and cleanse, they look a little bit too clean. Generally, scripters they'll play champions like 𝐒𝐿ista, really high skill cap champs. Even if they're not viable or not, you'll see scripters play it like Xerath, 𝐒𝐿ista. The most viable champ scripters will play is generally Ezreal, since he's also very skill shot reliant. I was thinking about buying Tiamat, but realistically, this game Tiamat's not that important. Warwick can clear all of his camps and objectives very fast, except for Raptors and Golems. Everything else he's very good at, so instead I'm just going for the Divine Sunder rush. Their team is heavily melee in short range. They're all pretty much melee. 𝐒𝐿ista is basically a melee champion as well with how short range she is, so having the Divine Sunder is going to make me unstoppably strong. They are running Nasus mid, which seems troll, but trust me, it's actually fine. I turn on the Lee Sin, I get some auto attacks down, I auto attack Q reset, get the double fear off, the attachment, and this is why Warwick generally plays well against Lee Sin. If you're good at Warwick, it's just a good matchup. You can also negate his R. If he goes to R you, if you Q, technically if you start your Q animation before he presses R on you, you can negate his R CC as well, but you still will eat the damage. Mainly it's my mid and bot lane that are gankable. Ganking for Fiora is kind of bad, so we never really do go top lane this game. We're mainly just focusing with our Leona CC and Anivia CC. Plus, if the enemy's going to run a melee mid laner against an Anivia or range stun mage, you just really want to try to camp that. Since my ultimate's up, I actually want to stay and try to regank this. I pull off as if I'm not going to stay, and then I pull back over after I break vision. The Alistar, for whatever reason, hex flashes in the bush. That was really weird. I go for my R. I miss both of them, but I get off a pretty nice fear. We don't quite pick up the 𝐒𝐿ista. She does a nice job of kiting back, but they get pushed off the next couple of minion waves. So realistically, it's still a solid gank since none of us died for it. We are seeing on a lot of gold, so instead of doing our camps or running over for a herald, we back get our full Divine Sunderer. Our bot lane is backing. I'm going to try to time me meeting them at the same time, so I don't immediately rush bot. Instead, I grab my red buff and I just kind of take my time getting over there. Whenever your laners aren't ready for a gank, there's no reason to try to force it. You can farm your way over. Just constantly be consuming resources as a jungler. You never want to be sitting in one spot doing nothing. We activate our W to get to 𝐒𝐿ista. We don't use our R from range because that's how you miss it. We turn on our E. She flashes my flash, and I just fear the Alistar. Their bot lane's having a really tough time right now. There's a lot of games like this in higher elo.
Walt, I don't know, man. You've been seeming sus lately. It's almost like we have an imposter among us. I saw that you wanted... Don't lie to me, Walt! You sussy baka.
The moral of the story is we don't know, but whenever it comes to Kalista players, it's always fun to poke fun at them. Also, if you do have a Kalista on your team in higher elo, you should generally dodge because NA, no matter how fed the Kalista is, they're going to start feeding and blow away their shutdown gold, and then you guys are going to lose late game. So, shockingly, even in higher elo, team comp matters an insane amount. And the majority of games that are won and lost, it happens through champ select, not through actually in-game play. Or it just happens through autofills and things like that. Warwick is perfect for these tower dive situations with his AoE fear and his damage reduction. We tank the Urgot R for Leona here. We try to get outside of turret range, and then right when we are the Urgot for lots of healing. We auto attack Q reset on him, set up the kill for Draven. We're fed enough to where Nasus knows he probably can't kill us. He flashes for the Draven, Leona lands some really nice CC, and then we pick him off. After the kills bot lane, we push into Lee Sin's jungle since he's dead. We take his golems and his red buff, and we set up some more farming. If Herald was up or if Dragon was up, we would have gone for that at this point, but since it's not, our next best thing is getting these camps since we just took their outer bot turret. I do leave the blue buff for Nivea. She'll need it more than I will. Once you're at least level 6, it's okay to give away blue buffs to mana hungry mid laners like a Nivea, but if you're not level 6, I wouldn't really recommend it because you need your ultimate power spike. Nasus is split pushing bot lane, so we use our W to catch up to him since we're already behind him anyways. We activate our fear, we auto attack Q reset, and then use it, and he's dead. It's really that easy. Warwick is a super simplistic champion. I don't think he's blind pickable or really first pickable, but if you know what you're playing him against, he can actually be a really good option just because he is so consistent and plays well against most melee junglers. Anivi's on turret, so I'm hovering to hold her flank, make sure she doesn't get picked out. Herald is coming up soon. I want to make sure we get that. If you're having trouble ending your games, it's probably because you're not securing heralds. I don't think we got the first herald this game, but we are certainly getting the second one. Herald's on a 6-minute timer, and at the 20-minute mark, the herald disappears. So if you don't get the first herald before 13-minute mark, you're generally not going to get the second one. Lee Sin took the first one pretty early. So we're going to be getting the second one and wrapping this game up. You generally want to lay heralds when you know you're going to get at least 2 full body slams off of it. So that's typically killing 1 to several enemies, or if none of them are defending turret and they're elsewhere on the map. If you do that, you should be able to wrap your games up and really put an end to things without the game taking forever and spiraling out of control. Unfortunately, the enemies didn't give us a true opportunity to end with Herald, and they just ended up surrendering. Regardless, if you guys enjoyed this high elo Warwick jungle commentary guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.